We are almost ready to get started. Hope you enjoyed your coffee and have your virtual popcorn with you. Who has virtual popcorn in the theater? All right, next time maybe we should get the real popcorn, and that'll be real cool. Very good, guys. So you are here for a treat now. I did my morning presentation, and one of the questions that was asked that, hey, what you're talking makes a lot of sense. I understand that, I get that, but no one in my company understands what PMMs do, you know? So this is, you are here for a treat. Actually, I answered something, but I think you're going to get an elaborate answer on that from Ruchi Tandon, who is from VMware, Senior Product Marketing Manager. She has done engineering, product management, product marketing. I feel like that's exactly what I have done. So, you will really hear from her how to showcase product marketing in your organization. Here you are, Richie. Take it away.
Thanks, Anand. Okay, wow. Quite a few of you over here, so I'm guessing the message resonated. Well, I've been working in the tech space for about 14 years now, switched careers midway from engineering to briefly product management and then product marketing. And so I've seen my fair share of the pain when people don't understand what you do or what kind of value you're bringing to the table. So I thought, why not start with this at this summit that we're having today. So just want to give you a brief glimpse of what we are going to talk about today. First thing that I'm going to start with is, why are we talking about this? I know a lot of you might already know why, but let's talk about our problems a little bit. And then I was initially given 15 minutes time frame to give this presentation, so I narrowed it down to only 3 ideas today. There are more, but these are my top 3 that have served me very well. And so I wanted to share that with you. And some examples, right? Almost like a case study. Examples, can you share with us why it worked, how it worked? And then I'll just leave it up to you guys if you have any questions or want to dig deeper into one of the things that I've talked about. So a little bit more about me. I've spent about, I mentioned I've been in the space for a while, half of which, 7 years almost, going in product marketing now. I started my journey in a very big public company as an engineer, but then moved slowly towards startups. So then transitioned back into a bigger company, back again now at VMware. And during my time as a marketer and a product marketer in startups and slightly smaller companies where the function is not very well established, it was an issue just letting people know, okay, hey, product marketing is one function where you can combine a lot of skills like product thinking, your technical know-how, what are your customers' pain points, how is sales going to sell your product, and a bunch more, right? And I had a hard time, but I had a hard time justifying how I can help. But then I talked to a lot of people in the industry, and some of the things that resonated with me and worked for me, here to talk about that. So first thing first. I read this in the State of Product Marketing 2022 report, and I think they've been doing this over 3 years now, and every time this graph, actually the graph of, well, do they understand product marketing? Slightly, the no piece of it slightly goes up, which is unfortunate. The latest one actually said that about 75% of the people that were polled had this as an internal challenge. So I want to gauge this room today. Just a quick show of hands. Who is in this segment where your company has a decent understanding of what the function does? OK, cool. I'm so, so happy for you guys. And you have to chime in after the presentation on what strategies have worked for you. Because I need to learn, I need to keep on learning more as well. So I'm guessing the rest of you have this problem. Quick show of hands. Who has this issue? OK. A lot of you up there, especially. Great. You have a good, big, huge view of the presentation now. OK, cool. So why are we talking about this today? Some of the things that I see. As PMMs, one of the things that I've noticed all of my team members, whether it's my managers, peers, or somebody who's newly joined, when we are working on our day-to-day activities, we just get so engrossed in what's happening right now and the short term, and how do I get this off my plate ASAP, because there are 1,000 other things that are piling up already. And so somewhere in between all of this chaos, we forget what our medium to long-term goals should look like. And we're so involved in that firefighting that we don't even realize what is the actual value that we as product marketers can bring to the table, and how do we convey that to our internal stakeholders, partners that we are working so closely with day in, day out. So I'm hoping that today, after this presentation, some points will resonate, and it'll help you think strategically and just step away for a little bit from that firefighting that happens every day. Second reason is it's very important to take a step back and align with what your company is trying to do. So as PMMs, if we, or even any function, right? If you are able to align to what high-level company goals there are, that's an automatic way to start creating value and showing that value across the organization. And last but not the least, also, hopefully, this will help you take a step back and reflect on the work, all the good work that you have been doing, value your own team, and take back some inspiration to showcase at your organizations to, hopefully recruit from other team members that are interested in product marketing, and just grow your team stronger and stronger. So I told you I'll talk about 3 key ideas. So what are my 3 key ideas today? Very simple. All of them are very simple. Keep your stakeholder relationships hydrated. And I'll cover these a little bit more in detail today. The second key idea that I'm going to share is that data is your friend. So don't be afraid to dig in. And the last one, advocacy. Promote your product marketing team's goals internally. So let's just jump into the first idea straight away. What do I mean by keeping your stakeholder relationships hydrated? Well, if you attended one of the sessions yesterday on super connectors, it was in this awesome theater yesterday. By the way, first time I'm ever giving presentation in a movie theater, so that's awesome. Oh, you have popcorn? I see. I love it, I love it. I wish I had some here too. So yesterday's session, one of the sessions, the speaker talked about how PMMs are super connectors, and we are talking to so many people inside the company, outside the company, and we just seem to know anyone and everyone, right? But then it's not just one-off conversations that are going to spark the ideas that we have or the push that we are going to make to bring projects to life. So the idea over here is that identify who are your primary stakeholders. We all know what the general primary stakeholders of a product marketer are, and the secondary ones, and so on and so forth. But in your particular role, think about who are the people that you need to work with inside the organization to bring your projects to life. For example, right now when I'm at VMware, my role as a product marketer is very focused on all things related to customers and how they are consuming our product. So while in my previous roles, I have worked very closely on pipeline generation, top of the funnel stuff, now I'm really bottom of the funnel and beyond that. So now my stakeholders have changed from just marketing teams that are working on acquisition to marketing teams who are trying to massage our existing customer base into how do they consume the products more. And so those are some of my key stakeholders, from customer marketing to customer success to my product managers who are very hyper-focused on, well, now we have this customer base, how do we have them using this product more and more? So those are some of my key stakeholders that I work with day in, day out. And one of the things that I love doing is having a lot of conversations. It doesn't mean that I need to have meetings day in, day out, but just even on Slack messages or email, what have you, whatever form of communication that works for you and your stakeholder, go for that. And keep continuing that conversation is what I have found to be most helpful. It helps in understanding who you're dealing with on a one-to-one basis. Breaks silos, you're always in sync. And that's an opportunity for you to, at just the ground level, talk about your PMM goals, right? Why are you doing certain things and how it ties to company goals and how your stakeholder can further help you win. So it's not just about always hearing about them, what they want from you. It's a bilateral street, the way I see it. And it's a way to get feedback quickly and just get things done faster. And some example, I just have one example over here right now where I have identified my key stakeholders that I need to have a regular cadence of one-to-one conversations with. So what I try to do is just set up a cadence that's going to occur maybe bi-weekly. So for example, with product management, marketing, my customer marketing folks, my sales enablement folks, I meet with them on a bi-weekly basis. And it's not that, so we have a fixed cadence over there, and some days we might not have something to discuss. So, happy to give time back to everybody. But there are times when we really need to be on the same page and discuss critical projects that are going on. And so all of those meetings, the meetings with intent, every meeting that we go to has a goal attached to it, has an agenda attached to it. If now, the way I've been working with folks, if there is no agenda, we're going to ask each other, well, what's the goal of this call? And if there's none, then we cancel it. But it's also important, the other thing that's important in stakeholder relationships is your other primary stakeholders and secondary stakeholders. Talk to them on a regular basis as well. In bigger companies, often a challenge is you're not as close to your sales teams that frequently. Smaller companies, probably not the case. So find what meeting schedule works for you. For example, in my previous organization, we were very close to sales. So we decided that, okay, instead of having too many sales conversations every day, we are going to meet on a quarterly basis and only with a certain select salespeople who could bring the voice of the entire sales team to product marketing and collaborate on projects directly with them. Other than this, one other example that we had was just product go-to-market with our core group and executives. And the core group that we had consisted of product marketing, product management, and our chief product officer. And rest of the stakeholders who would get invited were only on need basis. So for example, if there is an important customer marketing program going on, there will be representation from marketing coming into those meetings. If we have an ABM program running, there will be somebody from sales as well as marketing come on. There were times when we were running critical user feedback sessions, so someone from customer success and user experience would come on and share their findings and more insights about the project. Okay, so that was that. Very simple idea, right? Keep your stakeholder relationships hydrated. The second key idea, data is your friend. Don't be afraid to dig in. So the way I see it, everybody loves to talk about data, right? The way I see it in product marketing, there are metrics, two types of metrics that I've been noticing. Metrics that matter, the obvious ones that we all should be doing, should have, we talk about it, sometimes day in, day out, in every meeting, things come up related to acquisition, retention, what's our growth rate, where's the drop-off, are the customers consuming the product, are they using it? Great. But then sometimes there are unaccounted metrics, right? And I'll share an example of the unaccounted metric that I saw in one of my previous organizations. So it's up to you now. This is my example, but I just want to put this thought in your head to go and actively look for, well, is there data that you are not using, but can showcase the value of product marketing, what you are doing today, or what your team is doing today. And then, really, once you have all that good data, don't keep it to yourself or your team. Go out and present in various forums, and present the right data to the right audiences. So an example of some unidentified metrics that I noticed at my previous organizations. So my previous org, very close to sales. So we were having a lot of sales conversations with sales on almost a daily basis for like 2 or 3 quarters into a new fiscal year. And so there were 2 teams broadly, the sales and the field teams, who would reach out to our product marketing group. Well, not just for, hey, where's this piece of content or that piece of content, but actual real problem. Hey, I'm up against so-and-so. I have this competitor in my deal. So how do we, and these are the 3 products that we are pitching. How do we, can you give me some competitive intel on how do we position against this player that we are seeing in the market? Or, hey, I'm dealing with this enterprise client who might be really interested. We started with pitching this product A, which we thought would resonate, but this is slowly going off track. How do we get it back on track again? Do you have any pointers on that, right? Heavy conversations require, these kind of conversations, they require you to go beyond just looking in your folder or content management system and pull out something magical and give it to them as a silver bullet, right? And so the other side, the other team that I worked with, the RFP teams. Now, these folks are really bidding for almost who's going to be out of the 3 competitors in the market, who's going to actually get a chance to even present what the products do. And some of these RFPs are like huge. They're insanely huge if you've seen them. 200, 300 pages long if you put them in a Word document. And there's a lot of product-related information that goes into them. And so so in my previous organization, the product marketing team was tapped to come in and provide product expertise on these RFPs. Now, what did all these conversations mean? We were suddenly spending so much time on all of this, and nobody was keeping track of, well, what's happening over there. And so just for my personal fun, I like data. I thought, OK, let me just collect some metrics and see how much time I'm spending on these, and what are they amounting to. And so I just started collecting, like, who's the prospect, how big are they enterprise, mid-market, small, medium business, what's the projected ARR that they're shooting for, the sales team is shooting for, and how close, like where in the stage, pipeline stage are they. And I tried to also showcase, well, what are the deals that I worked with the sales team on that are closer to closing. So, for example, if they're in the negotiation stage or a proposal stage. And so that was an insight for leadership. And my own manager that I was reporting to at the time, that, hey, by the way, did you know for this quarter, our team, in total, they worked on deals that are projected to bring 43 or 44 million revenue in this quarter alone. And half of that is going to come from enterprise clients. And that's something that we started showcasing in all forums where we were presenting, well, what has product marketing been up to? And that was an instant win. Last key idea. Last but not the least, there are more that I'm going to ask you after this. Promote the PMM team's goals and knowledge internally. We do so much for our own products that we are taking care of. We do so much advocacy that we sometimes forget we need to advocate for ourselves too inside the organization. And so 3 places where it really moves the needle. In all of your internal meetings with your key stakeholders, at least they should be aware what your goals are and what kind of insights you're bringing to the table. With the executive leadership, they need to also know that, yes, they are building a good team, a solid team that's really bringing value and aligning themselves to what the executives are thinking for the broader company. And the whole company basically should know, in my opinion, the value that you're bringing to the table, because you're talking to almost all departments inside the company for one project or another. And so some of the examples how my team has done this in previous organizations and current organization is get them right in the beginning. When new employees join the organization, get a spot in the new hire orientation decks. It could be as simple as, hey, let me talk to you about this mature product that we have in the organization that brings the most revenue. Oh, by the way, I'm from product marketing, and this is what we do. Here are the people that you are going to see and interface with as you go through your, start meeting new people and start working on real projects. And that's a good way to make an introduction and plant that seed that you're there to help them on X, Y, Z things. Next thing, sales. Sales is a huge, huge partner for product marketing. And so one of the things that we did, we found a spot on their, so they had this internal newsletter that they would keep just for themselves, updating each other about deals and so on and so forth. And it was a great space to just have a product marketing slot over there and talk about something relevant that was going on at the time. For example, if we were noticing suddenly a competitor was rising in that particular quarter, that product marketing slot of the biweekly newsletter for the entire field team would only talk about that particular competitor and how to battle against them. Then again, any pricing promotions, that's always something top of mind for sales, because that helps them close lots of deals. And any other key highlights. Try to meet them where your internal stakeholder is, just like we do for our customers, right? And then finally, the product broadcast. This is one great thing that my previous organization did. Every month, we had one or the other person come in from product marketing or product management team, present on a topic that was close to them, on a project that was close to them, and the insights that they could share with the broader organization. Competitive, as you can see, was a big thing in my previous company, but so was personas. Why are we going after certain personas? How are they changing? And that really helped boost our reputation within the organization. So that pretty much brings us to the end today. Again, in summary, keep your stakeholder relationships hydrated. Data is your friend. So please go and look today if there is something that you are not presenting that might be meaningful to yourself and your leadership. And keep on advocating about yourself and your team. So it's only a spark to get you guys started, and hopefully it was something that has sparked some ideas, and I'm happy to open the floor to any questions or insights that you can give me. Thank you.
Thanks, Ruchi. Really appreciate the talk. So if you have any question, please raise your hand, and we'll get to you so that you can ask your question. We have another 5-7 minutes for the question. Right here. Go ahead.
Thanks for sharing. Could you tell us more about the product broadcast and how you package it up, how you deliver it, just a little tactical on that, because I think it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, sure thing. I can share what we did in the organization. So we had a really great product operations team who actually took on to building a monthly calendar and just showcasing the work of all the product teams to the organization. And so based on whatever was top of mind within the organization, if there were any critical projects that were going on, that's how they would decide the agenda, invite speakers. And so one example was a brand new product that was getting launched for the company. And the last time a brand new product was launched for the company was maybe 3 years prior to that. So there was a lot of excitement throughout. Everybody was hearing the name of this product, and things would come up, but nobody really had much idea, no detail as such in the wider organization. So we did a session on that, and it was very well received. It was all about how we managed to, since it was a completely greenfield project, starting with a small idea and releasing an MVP to the market. It was amazing for everybody in the organization to see, and for us to share how a small team of maybe 10 people took that from concept to launch in a matter of, we had been working on this for more than a year, but the launch itself was within like 40 days. And so the massive amounts of work that went into it, it was a great forum also to acknowledge all the stakeholders that we worked with internally. So it was amazing to bring the entire organization together in that one project through the product broadcast.
Any other question? Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask, for the new hire orientation, do you usually focus on a product launch that you did, or just spread general awareness for the product marketing manager role?
So It's a combination always. For the new hire orientation, I think it's very important to highlight what product marketing is and does, and who are the people who do it within the organization. So actually have their faces on so that the new hires remember that. And it's especially helpful, if your organization is scaling the sales org at some point in time. That's when you really get the sales folks to know that these are the people that you need to partner with very regularly and are going to help you in your deals. The second piece of it goes into, well, here are the main products that you're going to see, you're going to come across and hear a lot about as you go in your roles. And so my previous organization, we had about 12 product lines. In VMware, we have, as I think of it, 1 million. But it's about talking about some of those, just identify top 2 or 3, and we would just talk about those products a little bit more in detail and have a plug there. Well, if you want to be, but beyond these 3 products, we have like 9, 10, or 20 others that you want to see. So these are the resources, 5 resources that you should go to learn about product and competitive and so on and so forth.
Thank you.
Of course.
Hi. So I'm just curious, how would you suggest using leadership to help promote product marketing within the org?
That's a really good question. First of all, getting time with executive leadership is tough. So I can just talk about some examples from my own experience. One was utilizing my one-on-ones with my own manager, who was slightly new to the role, not to the organization. So it automatically helped me share what ideas or the things that product marketing does and should be in the organization, while he becomes the voice inside because he knew so many people, right? So maybe try to identify some of those type of leaders that are willing to listen, that understand the value that you're bringing, and can talk about you, your team, in their forums where they're talking to other folks, right? For example, we once had a sales leader who really worked closely with us on that new product launch that I was talking about. And he had a really great experience the way we worked with him. And it was a two-way street. He even helped us with some budget that we were struggling with. And he saw the value that we bring. So he actually pulled from the sales budget to give to product marketing, which was phenomenal. And in turn, we had turned him into an advocate as well. Another last example that I'll talk about, this was with the chief product officer himself. We would have skip level meetings. And so every skip level meeting that I had with him or my teammates did, we made sure we went with some common agenda, like underlying, trying to highlight what issues we are facing with so that it's a consistent voice that he's hearing from all team members. And then add something of your own as well. For example, in my case, I really love working with data. And as I was talking to my CPO in one of those sessions, it came up that he wanted to do a research project, but wasn't sure if we had the capability inside the organization. And it was something that I offered on behalf of my team. And it was an amazing experience for us. Our leader got some great insights that helped him and the company acquire another company. So that was automatically a win. So use those, I would say, any time you're talking to somebody inside the organization, use that time mindfully Of course, you can do fun talks as well. That's very important. But I think meeting by meeting, you can sow those seeds. If that, I hope that answers your question.
Great. Thanks, Ruchi. A round of applause for Ruchi.